Everything starts with a small boy named Steve. He takes us into the fun and blocky world of Minecraft. This world is called the Overworld, a huge sandbox where you can build anything, explore everything, and where stories come alive. As a child, Steve had a dream. He wanted to become the best miner in the world. He loved going to new places, building cool things, and using his imagination. But every time he tried to go to the nearby mine, a grumpy old man would stop him. There was a strict rule: only adults could mine, not kids. Time passed, and Steve grew up. But his life didn't go the way he wanted. He didn't become a miner. Instead, he ended up selling boring door handles. Every day felt the same. Slowly, Steve began to feel like his life had no meaning. Then one day, while eating alone, he remembered his childhood dream. That dream lit a fire in his heart again. He decided to go back to the mine. This time, he wasn't a kid anymore. No one could stop him. The old man was still guarding the mine, but Steve didn't care. He went in and started digging like crazy. At first, he found nothing. But then, Steve discovered two strange objects: a glowing crystal cube and something called the creation cube. When he put them together, they caused a powerful explosion. A secret door opened, leading to a magical world, the real overworld of Minecraft. In this magical place, anything was possible. Steve saw a pink sheep, rare and beautiful. Using its wool, he built 3 amazing houses and finally became the architect he always dreamed of being. While exploring, Steve met a wild wolf. The wolf attacked him, but Steve offered it a juicy bone and calmed it down. He named the wolf Dennis, and from that day, they became best friends. Together, Steve and Dennis shaped the overworld, building new things and making peace among animals. As time went on, Steve discovered some old ruins. Inside, he found a chest holding a portal to a dark and twisted world, the Nether. It was filled with evil creatures called piglins, greedy pig-like monsters. The Nether was ruled by a powerful and angry witch named Malgosia. Malgosia wasn't always evil. She once dreamed of becoming a dancer. But people laughed at her, and even her own father threw her out. Hurt and angry, she turned to darkness. Now, she wanted the creation cube to control the world. But Steve was smart. He escaped and gave the cube to Dennis, asking him to hide it on Earth, under Steve's waterbed. As long as the cube stayed hidden, the world would be safe. Years later, a boy named Garrett Garrison became famous in the world of video games. He was called Trashman, known for his amazing garbage cleaning skills in an arcade game. He even earned a $1 million deal. But then, Garrett's fame faded. He got an eviction notice and had no money left. Desperate, Garrett went to an auction, hoping to find something valuable. There, he found an old mysterious box. After some bargaining, he bought it for $900, even though it looked empty. Angry and disappointed, Garrett thought he had been cheated. That same day, a young boy named Henry moved to the city with his big sister Natalie after their mother passed away. Natalie tried to keep things together. She gave Henry a pizza for breakfast and a bottle of cologne to share with new friends at school. At school, Henry met Garrett, who now worked at a junk shop. Henry offered Garrett a slice of pizza and asked for advice. Garrett joked that he charges $50 per hour for life lessons. But he still gave some wisdom: friends are like puzzles. One piece can complete your life. Later, Henry caused a small accident at school during a project. the school principal demanded to speak to his guardian. Henry called Garrett, begging him to pretend to be his uncle. Garrett agreed when he heard Henry had $26 in cash. Back at the shop, Henry noticed the cube and asked about it. Garrett had no idea what it really was. They found an old instruction manual that said, "Never join the crystal cube and the orb. Never open the box out of greed." But curiosity got the better of them. They took the cube to an old mine to test it. Suddenly, the cube started glowing and pulling them in. Natalie and a real estate agent named Dawn used a tracker to find Henry. They all got sucked into the portal and landed in the magical overworld. Excited by this new world, Garrett bragged that he was a gaming legend. They met the pink sheep, but a villager had followed them from the portal, connecting Earth to the overworld. Meanwhile, in the Nether, Małgosia was furious. Her piglins couldn't find gold. She threatened to turn them into pork chops. Then she sensed the portal had opened again. She went to visit Steve, her prisoner, and made a deal: return the creation cube, or she would hurt Dennis. In the overworld, Dennis returned and warned Steve and the group. But danger followed. Skeletons, spiders, zombies, and creepers attacked. Henry used his Minecraft skills to build walls and protect the group. Garrett tried to hide but got caught. Just as the group was losing hope, Steve returned, fighting like a true hero. He saved them all. Steve explained that they couldn't return to Earth without the crystal cube. He made a deal: he would help them get home, but the Orb of Dominion would stay with him. Meanwhile, the school principal accidentally hit the villager with her car on Earth. To avoid trouble, she invited him to dinner. Somehow, this started an unexpected romance. Back in the overworld, the team met new allies: a wise llama, a huge iron golem, and a legendary pig. They all ate together. Garrett ignored Steve's warning about hot lava-cooked chicken and burned his mouth, but pretended everything was fine. Małgosia had now summoned her most powerful general, a piglin named Chungus, strong but kind. She gave him a nether ward talisman to protect him on his mission. Meanwhile, the group explored Steve's inventory world, a magical place full of tools and gadgets. They found the Ender Pearl, a magical item that lets you teleport. Garrett used it too soon, wasting it. Steve taught him how to craft tools from overworld materials. Garrett created a weird but working weapon. Henry even mixed real-world junk with Minecraft materials and made useful tools. Garrett then asked Steve about a hidden treasure. Steve admitted he had diamonds deep in the mines. Garrett insisted, no diamonds, no orb. So off they went. But then General Chungus arrived. Steve tried to talk, but Garrett jumped in, trying to impress the group. He failed miserably, accidentally hitting Steve instead. A huge fight broke out. The group got separated: Natalie and Dawn in one group, Garrett and Henry in another. Steve gave out special flight wings. There were only two. He grabbed Garrett and flew away, chased by piglins through epic landscapes, even flying over sleepy pandas, before crash landing in a lake. Back on Earth, the school principal went on a second date with the villager. She shared that her ex-husband had no personality. Love began to grow. Back in the overworld, Steve told the full truth about Małgosia's past, her dreams, her pain, and why she turned evil. Dawn and Natalie found Dennis and gained his trust using a bone. They followed him, hoping he would lead them to Steve. Meanwhile, Henry and Garrett found the diamond stash, but so did the enemy. The legendary pig was there. Garrett and Henry argued. Garrett snapped, saying, "You're just a kid, you wouldn't understand." But Henry's serious answer made Garrett stop and listen. A new bond formed. They made a plan to rob the legendary mansion. The mansion had 3 levels. The bottom floor was guarded by trained villagers. The second had evokers, scary spellcasters. The top had the Enderman crystal, guarded by an Enderman who could kill with a single stare. Garrett got captured and forced into a secret underground fight club. He had to battle a baby zombie riding a chicken. It looked funny, but the fight was intense. Henry, meanwhile, sneaked to the top floor. He faced the Enderman and won using his diamond sword. His reward, the teleportation sphere, which could send anyone anywhere. The group finally escaped the mansion. But suddenly, Malgosia appeared. She stole both the creation cube and Enderman crystal. Just like that, no fight, just pure confidence. Steve and Henry tried to run. Garrett, however, stood tall. "If I lose, I'll lose in style." He caused a huge explosion. Everyone was thrown into the rubble. Dennis found Steve and woke him. Henry was hurt but alive. They found shelter in a tiny mushroom house built by Dawn. Everyone reunited. But the world was now darker. Malgosia's power was spreading fast. So, they fought back. They upgraded the iron golems, giving them super speed. They built new tools, made battle plans, and got ready for the final fight. Malgosia laughed at their army, but one small piglin made the mistake of attacking. The golems went wild, and the battle began. Malgosia sent out the Great Pig, her strongest monster. But the heroes summoned their ultimate creation, a massive Titan golem made from a secret alloy. The two giants clashed in an epic fight. Steve, wearing diamond armor, fought Malgosia one-on-one. She used her dark magic. He stood strong with his sword. Meanwhile, the Great Pig went after Natalie. But Dawn, now a wild leader, arrived with a pack of wolves. They attacked the pig and saved Natalie. But then, the Great Pig shot a deadly beam at Henry. He collapsed. Silence. Suddenly, Garrett rose from the ashes, ran to Henry, and carried him to safety. In the chaos, Steve and the team destroyed Malgosia's machines and threw the orb into a deep pit. But the Great Pig caught it. Just then, the Titan Golem landed a final punch, destroying the pig and saving the orb. Malgosia, weak and surrounded, tried one last trick. She attacked Steve 3 times with a hidden knife. Steve blocked her each time. But he didn't kill her. He just walked away. The world was safe. Steve said goodbye to the group. He offered Henry a chance to stay in the overworld. Henry smiled, "I'm going home." Steve respected that. He handed Dennis' leash to Dawn and said, he deserves peace too. He hugged Garrett, thanked Natalie and Dawn, and watched them go through the portal. But just before returning to his quiet life, Steve looked around, then followed them into the portal. A few days later, everything had changed. Garrett's shop was booming. He was now a game legend and co-creator of a new video game. Dawn became an adventurer, always exploring with Dennis. Natalie opened a self-defense school and became a hero. Henry mastered the jetpack and now flies high in the sky. And finally, Movie camera. In the post-credit scene, we see the villager propose to the school principal. He now speaks fluent human language, and she understands him completely. True love. Collision the end, or is it? Hope you enjoyed this adventure. If you loved the story, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to Hollywood Explained Recaps for more awesome tales.